So now we know what a named range is, let's look at the different ways that we can create them. Now what we're going to do here is basically what I showed you in the example in the previous lesson. We're going to create named ranges for all of the columns that we have in this table. And I want the named ranges to be called whatever the column heading for that particular column is. Now, by far the simplest and quickest way to name a range is by using the name box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the range of cells, click up in the name box, and then give my range a name. So this is going to be called orders. Now it's really important when you're typing in names for your ranges that you don't have any spaces in the names. Now my range is just one word, orders, but if I wanted to call it order numbers, for example, I wouldn't be able to put a space in there and type in numbers. That's not going to work. I would either need to type it in as order numbers, or one word, or I need to separate the words with an underscore instead. So just remember that when you're naming your ranges. Also really important to remember to hit the Enter key to set that named range. So that is the first method you can use. The second method you can use is to select the range of cells that you want to name, including that column heading, and then on the Formulas tab in the Defined Names group, use the Create from Selection button. Now what this will do is it's going to create a named range for you, and it's going to name the range based on the values in whichever row or column you specify. So because I've highlighted the top row, I want it to name this range based on the value in the top row. So that is customer. Let's click on OK. And if you want to check to make sure that your named ranges are setting effectively, you can click the drop down and you can see them listed out here. The next method you can use to create a named range is to click on the Name Manager button. And notice this has a keyboard shortcut of Control plus F3. So if we jump into the Name Manager, this is basically where we come to manage all of our different named ranges. And you can see in there the two named ranges that I've currently set up. What I can also do is create a new named range from here as well by clicking the New button. I can give my range a name, so let's call this range Quantity. I want it to be available in this workbook. I could add a comment if I wanted to, and then I select the cells that this range refers to. So that's going to be these cells just here, and click on OK. So now I have 3 named ranges created. And then the final method I can use to create a named range is the Define Name option in the Defined Names group. Again, I can just give my range a name. So this one is going to be price per unit. Remember, we're separating with underscores. And then I can specify which cells this range refers to. So that is my cell range E4 to E17. And another thing to note about these named ranges is take a look at the cell references. They're all absolute by default. And this is a really important point when it comes to using your named ranges in your formulas. So I'll talk more about this at a later stage. Let's click on OK. And now I have 4 named ranges set up. Let's do the final one, and I'm just going to do this using the Create from Selection method. And now I have all of my named ranges created. So that is it. Those are the 4 different methods that you can use to create named ranges.